Good evening, everyone. This is Jackass Retro. My name is Matt. Thank you very much for joining in and watching. This is our weekly What Sold Postcards Only. We drop these videos every Sunday. Just kind of let you know what sold on the postcard front out of my store. I am a full-time reseller based here in the Pacific Northwest in Bremerton, Washington. I sell a big variety of things. One of the things I sell, though, is postcards. So I'm doing these videos because videos just like it I found to be very helpful when I was just getting into postcards and reselling postcards on eBay. This week was a very good week. It was the best, I think, since we started doing these videos. So 93 cards sold this week for a total of $648. Definitely about a $150 increase over last week, about 20-30 more cards in the last one. So it's due to a number of things. I started using a service called Web Interpret that's listing my postcards now on multiple sites, so showing up in more places. Definitely have some more international sales than were previous. And also throughout the month of June, I was listing very heavily in the postcards category, so I have a lot up. Also ahead of the 4th of July weekend, I did run a sale on my postcards. Discounts ranged anywhere from around 5 to 20%, depending on the price of the card. So the sale definitely helped drive some traffic at the end of the week and increase some of the sales. So this is probably going to be a little bit of a longer video because of the number of cards sold. I may move a little bit quicker than I normally do on some of these. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it, shall we? Okay. So this first card we're looking at is a linen postcard. We get all set up here. The FEC Steamliner, the Champion, in Miami, Florida. Obviously, the train went outside of Miami because it has to go somewhere, right? Posted 1949. This one's been in the store for a little while. It sold, though, at my full asking price, $7.95 with free shipping. Most of the time when I say free shipping here, it's going to be standard envelope shipping through eBay, which I recently just purchased some new envelopes. I was able to get my shipping weight under 2 ounces. So pretty much all of these, when I say free shipping, it's costing me around 71 cents to ship, plus the cost of the materials, cost of a top loader. I do ship everything in a plastic top loader. So it's costing me roughly around 30 to 40 cents in shipping materials once all is said and done. Next up, San Francisco, California, Golden Gate Park. This is the sundial. There was a lot of postcards of this sundial, but I couldn't find this particular view of it. So I priced mine a little bit more than some of the vast majority of the solds were. It sold relatively quickly. I may have been able to get a little more money out of it, $1 or $2 more, but I'm very happy with what I got, which was $8.95 free shipping. The only ones of this sundial that really sold for more, from what I recall at the time, was real photos, which were very few anyways. Next up, advertising postcard for Fuller Floor Wax. Fuller Floor Wax smooths away. I like how she's just dumping it on the floor while everyone's just dancing around. So very cool advertising postcard, probably 1920s, 1930s is my best guess. Sold for $5.95 free shipping. Probably more like 1920s is more likely. Next, we have a street view of Times Square, New York. They were nice enough to put a date on this one for us, 1914, so we know when we're looking at it. Very cool hustle bustle of Times Square in New York. These have done pretty well for me over time, and this one actually went overseas and sold to somebody in Australia for roughly about $12 plus the cost of shipping. Another advertising postcard, San Francisco, California, the Union 76 shaft, for lack of a better word. I think that's what they actually call it there. Unposted. This is a, you'll see this a lot. This was a series. Union Oil produced a number of different postcard views over many, many years. They aren't particularly valuable except for a handful of them that have good content. This one obviously has got a lot going for it with a big 76 sign, some vintage cars there in the foreground, kind of a cool geometric looking vintage building. At the time, probably very, very modern. So, this is going to appeal to a lot of different kind of collectors. You've got your people who collect gas stations and gas memorabilia, people who like vintage car views, vintage advertising collectors. So it's a little bit of everything, a lot of different crossover appeal. This one sold for $5.95 with free shipping. We have New Haven, Connecticut, the Skinner School. This one was sold again relatively quickly. There's a fairly common card, but not a lot of solds. But the ones that were up were considerably more expensive than what I priced mine at. So I priced mine at $4.95, free shipping. Somebody watched it relatively quickly. I sent out a 5% off offer and it sold. So very happy with that. I use that strategy very often when I see a card where there's a lot of listings, not a lot of solds, but the listings seem to be much higher price. I try to get down there at a price where I think somebody might be interested in buying it. And happy with the $5 that I got, free shipping. Wagon Train here. This is the 20 Mule Team. Again, you'll see this come up, especially if you are buying postcards from collectors on the West. You're going to see mule teams, wagon trains. These Western sort of motifs tend to be pretty popular. This one sold for $5.95 with free shipping. Here's a Tacoma, Washington. This is the Hotel Tacoma. Kind of the same thing I had talked about previously. I saw a lot of these out there. I put mine at a price I thought would sell relatively quickly. It didn't take long, a couple of days. Sold for $3.75 free shipping. It is posted 1910. You'll see here. This is a publisher on this is the Pink of Perfection, I believe. The Pink. Yep, there it is. A Pink of Perfection, which is another publisher of postcards that you'll get familiar with if you're selling often. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, linen postcard, aerial view. Took an offer on this one for $10 plus $1 shipping. Unposted there, you'll see. So yeah, nice, very, location-based linen postcard. Another linen postcard here. This is obviously the Amelia Gregorius Library in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Again, one of those instances where I saw many postcards of the location. The ones that had sold were lower cost. So because I didn't see this particular example, I went a bit higher than what the solds justified, but still at a price where I was confident that somebody would buy. And they did at $5.95 with free shipping. This is an interior view, Monterey, California. The Italian Village restaurant. Very classic sort of Italian dining room restaurant view. This one here sold for $6.95 free shipping. This is a real photo postcard. The Harkin store in West Newton, New Ulm, Minnesota. I got several postcards from this exact place in a recent buy that I I did for some other, large number of postcards. So been doing a lot of listing of those. So a fair number of those have sold in this video. This one, I took an offer, $10 plus $1 shipping. It's an exterior view. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some other Harkin Store postcards coming up in future videos. Nice linen postcard, scenic view of some Spanish moss draped on oaks in Wilmington, North Carolina. Really, I think it's just a nice image that probably drove the buyer on this one. It's a very objectively pretty art view postcard. This one sold for $5.95. This is also came from the recent postcard buy. This is Skykomish, Washington, Snohomish County. This is the scenic Hot Springs railroad stop for the Great Northern Railway. I got a few different images for this location. This one sold very quickly for full asking price, $14.95 plus shipping. The next couple are, the next actually 5 were a single buyer, single purchase, came into the store, purchased multiple cards. We've got a very classic view of a Canadian Mountie, unposted, but with some writing on it. Next is another image of 2 Canadian Mounties. We have a classic sort of greetings from Washington multi-view, the map in the middle with these different images around the edge. I have a few of this exact card. It was a multi-quantity listing. They bought one of them. They also bought a City Park real photo postcard from Walla Walla, Washington. I think one of these showed up in last week's video. I have multiple of this exact card. And a postcard from France. Villemont-sur-Mer. And this is a fleet of naval vessels coming through the canal. So the grand total on these 5 cards came to $23.05 with free shipping. These were purchased. I do have normally a special that runs in my store that if you buy 5 or more postcards, it's 25% off. And the person who purchased these took advantage of that offer and was able to get all 5 cards for the price of $23.05. Next up, linen postcard, Lake Tahoe along the Nevada shore, entering Cave Rock Tunnel. This is Mount Tahoe, very popular location. Postcards do sell very well for Lake Tahoe. And this one sold for $6.60 with free shipping on an offer sent to washers. This is Wickensburg, Arizona, the Shops restaurant. Again, took the strategy of I saw a lot of them out there, put it at a good competitive price, and it sold relatively quickly for $2.95 with free shipping. Here's the First Moravian Church in Ole Valley, Pennsylvania. Now, I don't know in terms of postcard content, but in many things, I have sold quite a few items from the Moravian Church. This one did take a little while to sell. It sold for $6.95 with free shipping. But I think that just about everything I've ever listed having to do with the Moravian Church has sold. So happy with this one for sure. Here's another one here in Washington State, again, Snohomish, Washington. This is Snohomish in terms of location is northeast of Seattle. It's a little bit north of where Redmond is, the location where Microsoft is headquartered. So not super common to see postcards from that area. I was excited to get this one. This one did come in a recent purchase from a local collector, and it sold really quickly for $8.95 with free shipping. This is Warm Spring Organs. Probably my favorite named place on a postcard in a while. This is the view from Ball to Peter. I just think that's funny. Yeah, I'll make a dick joke every now and then. Leave me alone. $4.95 free shipping. Coming up next, these two postcards sold to the same buyer. The grand total for the two was $41.21 with free. With first class shipping. So they paid $3.25 for shipping. I do offer my customers, if you buy one postcard, every other postcard in the order ships free. So they only pay once for shipping. So it was $3.25 to ship. The total for the two cards came to $41. And this is the first one. This is the Utah and Nevada border. State Line Hotel, Cafe Bar Casino. I'm assuming that's the Nevada side. And then on the Utah side is, no casino. Unposted. And then the other one that sold, same customer. This is San Francisco, California, the Chinese butcher shop. 1910s, divided back. Britton and Ray, publisher. You'll see down here. Go away. There we go. Down at the bottom, Britton and Ray, publishers. Another Western publisher you'll see quite frequently on Western postcard collections. Here is Birmingham, Alabama, the mining district. This is just super cool, right? Like, you've got the cart coming out of the coal mine, sort of a sepia tone to it. It's not a real photo. It is printed. Undivided back, 1907. I just think a really neat, cool looking postcard. It did sell $7.95, free shipping. Here we have some bananas being unloaded from a ship in New Orleans, Louisiana. What is funny is I have seen this exact postcard with other locations being attributed. So is this actually New Orleans? I suspect probably not. It is a image that has been used in other postcards. I've seen it with different toning, different colors. I've seen it in black and white. But this one says it's New Orleans, so we'll just take them at their word. And it did sell for $2.95 free shipping. It's a pretty common postcard. Another Washington State postcard from my recent buy. This is the Olympian train right there, coming through Kittitas Valley on the, I forget what this one, Central Mountain and Pacific Southern Railroad. I think that's right. May have nailed it. $8.95 with free shipping. The photographer up here, Asahel Curtis, there's actually a number of locations in Washington named for this photographer. He's a very famous photographer of the Northwest. Moving right along, we've got Tucumcari, New Mexico, one of my favorite places to say, because it's fun to say Tucumcari. Nice linen postcard, unposted. Not huge money, but still nice sale at $2.95 free shipping. Got a nice Christmas greetings, sort of Art Deco cusp of Art Nouveau image. This doesn't show up great in the scans, but this is kind of a gilt. You know, it looks shiny if you hold it into light paint on it. Nice postcard. This one sold for $14.35. You'll see this kind of design style on some Christmas postcards. I've used to not list them. I thought they looked a little too generic for a while, and then I started selling a few, and you know they actually sell pretty well. So I would say, you know, if you've got these sort of Art Deco-y, Art Nouveau-y, you know, relatively simple. You know, there's no Santa Claus here. There's no Christmas morning image. it's newer. It's probably, you know, into the 20s or maybe even up to the 30s, like white border era. Kind of hard to date it with certainty, but I would say list them. They seem to sell okay. Here's another linen postcard. Okay, so the next batch, or actually not this one, but the ones following, all sold in a single sale. So this is the El Toreador Motel in San Ysidro, California. Nice poolside vintage motel view. I like these motel postcards. There's something very nostalgic about it, because you don't see. Look how, I mean, everything is so shiny and new here. Like, that is not how we think of motels anymore. Motels, we don't think of shiny or new. Either we think of them as like these sort of run down relics of the past, or it's something like, you know, a Motel 6 or something very modern traveler thing. But the history of these kind of motor inns and hotels and motels, which is how they got a motor hotel, how that's where that word came from, you know, really has to do with the creation of the highways in America and these things popping up because the, you know, price of cars came down to the point where the average consumer could buy one and gained the freedom of being able to move around the country for, you know, the early part of this century for the first time ever. And these motels popped up to fulfill the need because people would need places to stay as they traveled. You know, this happened from, you know, the teens up into really the 50s and 60s. And, you know, at that point, you know, these places began to fall into disrepair. And postcards like this are just kind of a reminder that these things were new at some point. And they were showing off how pretty they were. So I like postcards like this that have that bit of nostalgia and history in it. Even though this is, you know, $2.95. You know, for $3, what else can you get that has that much history for $3? So these next 6 postcards went to the same buyer. They are all large letter greetings. They all sold for $3.95. They did get a discount for multi-purchase. So the grand total on these next 6 are $24.70 free shipping. So I'm just going to go through them real quick, and you'll see the difference between some of these large letter greeting postcards. So here's Pomeroy, Ohio, Lowell, Massachusetts, Montana, Rapid City in the Black Hills of South Dakota, greetings from Maine. And finally, a message from colorful Colorado, the Mile High State. So all of these very similar. You have the same sort of large letter, with each large letter being a window to a different scene or part of a scene from the state. They're all linen postcards. And really, these are very iconic. They're what a lot of people think of when they think of postcards. And they're very common, and they're very well collected. If you find one that's from a very rare place, they can sell for a good amount of money. But even the common ones are very good sellers. They're very steady sellers for me. I priced most of them at $3.95 with free shipping. And so that's what these sold for, with a bit of a discount for buying multiples. Here is a real photo postcard, 1940s, Calistoga, California. The Pachitau Baths. So nice 1940s. We got some cars here in the foreground. And, you know, otherwise fairly mundane. So this one actually went for $8.95 free shipping. We do have a Coca-Cola sign here. I can't remember if I mentioned that, but there is one. Could have been what sold it. We'll never know. So if you are not already familiar with the name Ellen Clapsaddle, let me be the first to introduce you to Miss Ellen Clapsaddle. I first heard about Ellen Clapsaddle at by watching another YouTuber who's no longer making content, but I think that a lot of postcard sellers and collectors know very well. His name is Vintge Postcards. And I remember always being like, Ellen Clapsaddle. He'd sell a lot of Ellen Clapsaddle's cards. He would just call them Clapsaddles. And you're probably right now like, hey, stop saying Clapsaddle so much. But you're not going to forget that name now, aren't you? This one has a signature down here. Not all of the Clapsaddle cards will have one. She is a prolific postcard artist and very widely and well collected. If you look at the reverse on this card, you'll see this is the International Art Publishing Company. A lot of the Clapsaddle cards are from this publisher, but not all of them. This one's embossed, nice Valentine's greeting. And I took an offer on this one for $17.50, and the buyer paid for shipping. Moving on, Bennettsville, South Carolina. Got a water ski boat, Wallace Lake. I didn't see any Bennettsville, North Carolina. This is a more modern chrome postcard. I may have been able to get a little more out of this. I listed it at $6.95, sent out a 5% offer, and somebody took me up. It was only up for a couple of days. I did mention there's a water ski scene, which in my experience is a popular thing for collectors. So if you have a water ski image in your postcard, make sure you mention water skiing. This is the Royal Gorge in Colorado, the main line of the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad. Big black smoke cloud coming out of this here train. Very, again, cool look. Objectively pretty art, which is you're never going to go wrong listing a postcard that looks good. This one's actually produced by the railroad, which probably as a piece of marketing material, maybe something you'd get when you rode on the railroad. This one sold for $5.65 with free shipping. Moving right along, we've got a real photo postcard. This is Tacoma, Washington, the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium aerial view. I got a number of Point Defiance real photo postcards from my recent purchase. This one sold relatively quickly for $8.95 with free shipping. Next up is Akron, Ohio. This is the Mayflower Hotel. Unposted. I didn't see this exact image, but there's a lot of the Mayflower Hotel, and there was a decent sale history behind it. So I priced mine up a little bit because I didn't see others offering this exact one, and it sold for $7.95, free shipping. Here's the Mercy Hospital in Canton, Ohio. I listed a lot of Ohio postcards at the beginning of the week, so a lot of them started selling towards the end of the week. This is a nice linen postcard. A lot of them out there. I priced mine to sell. It sold for $2.80 on sale. Another real photo postcard. This is Cougars Killed at Priest Lake, Idaho. Hunters might want this. People who like hunting images, I guess. Dead cougars hanging up. It was up for a while. It took a while to sell. I did take an offer on it of $12 plus shipping. Next two went to the same customer. Both are obviously casino postcards. This is the Carson City Nugget, Carson City, Nevada. And this is the Golden Nugget in, I believe, Las Vegas. Correct. So two very sort of similar night view of nugget casinos, but two different nugget casinos at night. Common postcards, each sold for $2.80 free shipping, which works out great because I could just put them in the same top loader and send them on out. Here is a linen postcard. This is the International Order of Fellows entry gate. Sold for $2.80, free shipping. Unposted. Nice postcard. Anything sort of Masonic related, you're going to want to put out there, even if it's for not that much money. If you can make a profit on it, it doesn't take up room. It's going to sell. There's so many Masonic collectors out there. You've got a big market just aside from postcards. This was a really nice sale. It took a while. It's been up since about August of last year. Birmingham, Alabama, St. Paul's Church. See here, I mean, there's marks on the front, but undivided back postcard. It was up, and we can see right here, Edith Graves, Cupertino. Odds are this probably came out of the, we know Miss Daisy Graves, if you guys have been watching. So this is probably out of that same postcard album. This one sold for $27.96 plus shipping. Not the greatest scan, I guess, but it did sell. A wild buck, 2 does, and fawn in the California mountains. This one is a hand-colored postcard. So they took a photograph. Somebody hand-tinted this. It's not real photo. We can see on the back here the cross-hatching of the linen, but it is from a photograph that before they printed it. It's been up for a while. It sold for $10.16 with free shipping. Pardon me. No, they paid for shipping. My mistake. Port Angeles, Washington. This is the Agate Peninsula. Pardon me. Olympic Peninsula, Agate, and Crescent Beach. So we got Agate Beach here, Crescent Beach. So this is Port Angeles, not far from where I live, about an hour north. And I've found Port Angeles, Washington postcards. There's a fair number of collectors. I've sold many from that location, and there have been some repeat buyers, but there's been a fair number that have been new ones as well. So that tells me, for this location, there is not just one, but a fair number of collectors for Port Angeles. Speaking of which, this is the Seattle to Port Crescent run. So this went to actually the same buyer as the last card on a separate purchase later on in the day. So this is the SS Solduck going from Seattle to Port Crescent, which is near Port Angeles. It's not exactly Port Angeles, but it's not super far. The Solduck, named for the reservation and hot springs, the Solduck Hot Springs. So this is the steamship that made that run in the early days of Washington ferries. If you're interested in maritime history in the Pacific Northwest, it's actually quite fascinating. There used to be what they called a mosquito fleet of small privately run ferries that went from various locations all throughout the Puget Sound, and was really the main form of transportation between the Puget Sound area for a very long time. Here's the Saguaro National Forest cactus forest. These are barrel cactuses. Believe it or not, barrel cactuses is something you should just put in your or the I'm probably saying it wrong. The saguaro cactus. I believe it's a H as the G. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Put it in the comments. But this cactus type is actually quite popular as a kind of content in postcards. So this is a newer one. It's a chrome postcard, but a nice image. This one sold for $3.75 plus shipping, or free shipping rather. My mistake. Here's St. Petersburg, Florida, the beach linen postcard. Lots of umbrellas on the beach. That tends to be kind of popular in terms of image and content. This one sold for $7.15, free shipping on the sale. Now, this one is quite interesting. It is the Malay village in Singapore. Now, you guys have I've had a couple of these sell on other videos. Now, this is really like you don't know exactly where this is. It's the village itself is fairly generic and actually incidental to really why it probably sold. Now, the back of the card is up here at the top. Service des Prisonniers de Guerre. So this is a prisoner of war mail postcard. So this was actually sent from Japan, not Singapore, from a prisoner of war during World War I in Japan. We've got a number of different postmarks as it traveled across the Atlantic to land in Ferndale, California. Now, I have multiple postcards with communication, different postmarks, but communication between these two individuals from his prisoner of war camp to the United States. So that what's on the back here, I think, is very much what sold the card versus what is on the front of the card. And indeed, it did sell for about $15 US. It's going overseas to Singapore, or it went overseas. So it was $15 roughly US plus shipping. Oh, we already saw that one. My mistake. Here we go. Grangeville, Idaho, bird's eye view. More modern chrome postcard. This one didn't take too long to sell. Just kind of a nice, small town view from above. This one sold on sale for $5.36, free shipping. Pretty much everything we're going to see from here on out was sold as part of the 4th of July weekend sale I've been running. Next up, this is Cleveland, Ohio, the new municipal stadium under construction. So this is where I believe the Cleveland Indians would eventually play. This shows the stadium under construction, but the postcard states this is what is coming, right? So this is the new stadium now under construction, even though the image is of a completed stadium. This one sold relatively quickly on sale for $16.11 plus shipping. Here we have Piccadilly Circus in London. Nice chrome postcard. Nice color to it. It's, I think, Kodachrome, right? I believe that's a Kodachrome image. It looks like a Kodachrome image with how the colors are washed, right? Sold for $6.26 with free shipping. So, again, international cards do sell depending on what the content is. And it's kind of neat to see, you can really watch this history of Piccadilly Circus unfold through the postcards. The signs change, the cars change. You can really track the history of this from this almost this exact view over multiple postcards over 100 or so years. Pretty neat. You might be hearing some pops and bangs and whistles and whatnot. It is 4th of July while I'm recording this, and just about nightfall. So we're going to get some fireworks here. Moving on, here's a lighthouse in St. Simon's Island, New Brunswick, Georgia. Lighthouses always do very well in terms of content on postcards. This one sold for $5.36 on sale, free shipping. Whidbey Loops on the highway from Astoria to Seaside, Oregon. These sort of like windy loop, twisty, turny, backtracky highway postcards do okay. They might not be most valuable, but they do sell well, right? They sell consistently. This one sold on sale for $3.75, free shipping. Here's a linen postcard, Oakview National Laboratory in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Bird's eye view, or 3/4 view overhead. Now, I got a lot of linen postcards from this exact location in a collection that I purchased last fall. This one sold, so it took about since around like November-ish time frame for this to sell. But it did sell on sale for $8.05 free shipping. So I have a number of other Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Yeah, there we go. Birthplace of the atomic bomb, which is, again, why would somebody collect this? Well, this is a historic location. Rookwood Pottery in Cincinnati, Ohio. You know, there was a lot of these out there. This exact postcard, I saw a lot of them. I priced mine at a price I thought it would sell at, $3.95, free shipping. It did sell on sale, so it went for $3.75, free shipping. But if you look up Rookwood Pottery postcard, you're going to find this one. There's a lot of them out there. Really, just once again, it comes down to, figuring out when are you going to hold out for more money, and when you want to come down to a price that a card is going to sell at. This is one, there's, a lot of them out there. I'm not going to hold out for an extra dollar on a card when I can get, a good price relatively quickly. Here's a covered bridge chrome postcard in Townsend, Vermont. $2.80 with free shipping. I think we've mentioned before here that, covered bridges, great content. List them, sell them. People collect covered bridges. Another Christmas postcard. This is a nice winter snow scene. Unposted. This is a great one. If somebody wants a nice vintage postcard to send to somebody, I think this is probably, it's just made out to Eleanor. Like, you don't have to do much to this one to make it a usable postcard again. If somebody wanted to do that, they certainly could. Or, just have a nice Christmas scene postcard. This one sold for $8.50, free ship on sale. Another real photo postcard. This is aerial view towing logging scenes, logging the lumber industry, timber, all great content people collect. So you want to make sure that you're putting words like logs and logging or lumberjack in your titles when it's applicable. This is a real photo postcard, came from the recent collection that I picked up, sold for $12.71, free ship. Or plus ship. My mistake. I made that mistake like 3 times. Sorry. Not trying to mislead or confuse anyone. Here's another nice linen postcard. Again, St. Petersburg, Florida. Second one of these from this location we've sold. On the sidewalks of St. Petersburg. Just a nice, pretty card. My parents grew up in St. Petersburg, where my mom did anyways. And when I was listing this, I was like, hey, do you remember the green benches on Central Avenue? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I sent her a picture of this postcard. She's like, where did you get this? Like, I can't believe I had totally forgotten about this. So, she was really, really, had a moment of touch with nostalgia over, seeing something like this from her past. So it just speaks to, how somebody can have an emotional connection or a nostalgic connection to something this simple. This one sold for $5.36 on sale for free shipping. So here is Galveston, Texas, the seawall. I think we've sold some other ones for this, basically the Galveston seawall. Get a good look now because it ain't going to be around for that much longer. It's only, about 20 feet. So, probably be underwater in our lifetime unless they build it taller. Anyways, this what I think sold this, and I may be just out there, is just the well-placed postmark. I don't know if this was machine done, and if it was machine done, it's highly coincidental. But you have the seawall with this well-placed American flag postmark right over the top of it. It's just, and here's what makes me think that it. So, one, we have the Galveston cover on the reverse, but it's a Monroe, Wisconsin on the front. But they are almost in the same place. So I don't think it was machine done. I think it had to have been hand done, and just a very conscientious postal worker was like, here, we'll put it in this dead space, which was nice of them. And I think that's actually ultimately what sold this card. It's not huge money. I mean, but $5.36 free shipping. Here is the Southland Center at night in Dallas, Texas. I believe this one and the last one went to the same buyer. Yes, correct. These last two cards went to the same buyer. This one went for $2.80 free shipping. Another large letter greeting. We talked about these earlier. This one is Charleston, South Carolina. A little bit different than the other one, right? We don't have the windows here, giving it. Instead, we have a very traditional view of a Charleston gate. This one sold for a little bit more than some of my other large letter ones at $5.09 free shipping. Here is a giant redwood stump used as a garage. This exact view has shown up in other videos because I've had multiple of this. The whole thing of cars coming through trees is very well collected, even though quite common in terms of imagery. But, this is something very popular people like to collect. So if you've got a car in a tree, put it in a postcard, list that item. It will likely sell if you price it correctly. And this one did sell on sale for $4.46 with free shipping. This one sold relatively quickly. I feel like I probably maybe could have gotten a little more out of it, but I'm still happy with it. This is Beaufort, South Carolina, sidewalk art show. Now, found no other postcard like this one. Didn't even see many Beaufort, South Carolina postcards out there. I priced mine at $19.95 with plus shipping, but I did have a make offer on it. It did go on sale. I had somebody who was trying to make an offer much lower than the sale price. I just responded back with a price slightly lower than my sale price, but not very much, and said, this is really my floor. This is a very uncommon card and has a lot of intrigue. And they bought for $16 plus shipping. I think this is a cool postcard. I really like this. Like, it's very out of the ordinary for a postcard to have a view like this. So I just think neat. And like, if we go in close on the art, like you can see a little bit like very, amateur art, but also sort of mid-century look to it. I just think it's neat. So yeah, happy with the $16 plus shipping. We have a Custer Battlefield monument in Montana. Obviously, this one had been mounted or taped into an album at some point. This was sold for $2.66 as part of the sale. It's another Mount Hood, Oregon, view from Lost Lake. Nice Portland Postcard Company postcard. Now, this is a pretty common sort of postcard. What I think is interesting here is the little guy down in the corner. I feel like that's a very interesting design choice by whoever did the art. I didn't include it in the front, but still, just kind of cool. I don't know. $375 on sale, free shipping. Here we have the Ford Exposition building at the California San Diego Exposition. This is the Panama Pacific Exposition. Ford, obviously, very present at most expositions after their creation. This one sold for $5.09 free shipping. I believe it actually is going overseas as well. No, not this one. Next up, Seattle, Washington. My alma mater, the University of Washington Stadium. Husky Stadium, as we call it here in the Northwest. This one, I got a couple of these from that recent postcard buy. This is the first one that sold. A couple different variations. This one went for $12 with $1 shipping. This is the Pine Acres Motel. Sorry, I had find my place there in Windham, Maine. So we have a multi-view, and I learned this from Popeye. If you've got a TV on, say TV on in your subject line. All of the TV on postcards I've ever listed have sold, as did this one. So this one sold for $9 and plus $1 shipping. So if you've got a motel and they show you the inside of the rooms, take a look at the TV. If it's on, you can probably get a little bit more money for it, and make sure you mention it in your subject line. Next up, we have the Gulfarium in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. I turned down many offers on this. People offering $5, $6, $8. It did finally sell on sale for $14.50 with $1 shipping. $1 shipping? $1 shipping. I mean, come on. Look at all these like classic 50s cars. It's just cool, right? Just such a neat view. Here is Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. The Marine Memorial and Boar's Head off here in the distance. Sold actually relatively quickly. I focused on the memorial here in the listing. If you go and you look at there, right, you can still see the background, but the listing specifically calls it out, and I think that's why it sold actually relatively quickly for $375 free ship. Moving on, a postcard I picked up from another reseller, Cameron over at Gravity Goods. Make sure you go subscribe to that channel if you've made it this far in the video. So this is the Aladdin show. It's not a ride. It's the Princess Jasmine soaring trip over the skies Niagara at Disney's California Adventure in the Hyperion Theater. So this is a more modern postcard, definitely like post-2000s, but, you know, Disney sells. It's a large continental size. I don't list a lot of continental size postcards, but this one sold on sale for $6.79 with free shipping. Some more large letter greetings. This is obviously Niagara Falls. And these three sold to the same buyer who bought multiple from me earlier on in the video. And then they bought also 2 Colorado postcards. So I had multiples of this one. This one I had at $2.95 free shipping. This one was at $3.95. So the total sale for these 3 cards was $10.30 free ship. So this one, and this one, which is the same as the last one. Moving on, we got the New Frontier Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Cool entryway photo Sold, took a little while to sell, but it sold for $6.26, free shipping. The next several went to the same buyer. The next 1, 2, 3, 4 went to the same buyer. They're all Hawaii postcards. We've got the really cool limousine out front of the this is the Iolani Palace in Honolulu. The next one is the same, not the same, but also Hawaii, the Diamond Head Crater view from the air. We have this is King Kamehameha. And this is on King Kamehameha Day, where the tradition is to drape the statue in leis, as it is seen here. And then finally, this is Honolulu, the Haki-ji Pagoda in Nu'uonu Valley. I can do it if I stop and I think about it. It's hard for me to read these sometimes. So these 4 postcards went to the same buyer for $12.58 with free shipping. Here is Boulder City, Boulder City, Nevada. Inside the Boulder Dam, this is the visitors area. It's a very, very common view. Like, there's many of them out there. So again, price mine to sell, and it sold on sale for $2.66, free ship. Another linen postcard here. We're on the home stretch, everyone. If you've stuck with me all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much. I know it's been a long one, but I'm glad to put these together for you. So thank you so much for watching all the way through. The Wilmington, North Carolina, nice sort of view of the beach, people doing riding on some rafts, I guess. You got the Ferris wheel in the distance. This one sold for $8.05, free shipping. This one's such a cool postcard. So you see sometimes these are very high embossed postcards, like the high relief, right? Look at one of these postcards, the embossing on it is not just like a standard stamp. These are very, very highly embossed and then airbrushed, which is why we get the beautiful color and toning on this postcard that we're seeing. I could not find another example of Mount Tacoma, which is actually Mount Rainier in Washington. It's the same mountain. It used to be more well known as Mount Tacoma before being renamed in Western culture anyways. So really like this postcard. I did take an offer. I listed it at $35. The buyer made an offer at $25. I took it. Just a cool postcard. If you see these high relief postcards, I've done well with them. Some of them can be pretty generic, but some of them do quite well. And this one, I couldn't find other examples, so it sold for $25 plus first class shipping. And we're down to our last postcard of the video. Thank you all again very much. Here we have just a cute little puppy coming in a mail package. So obviously a pug, right? So make sure you mention pugs. It's a pug dog. People buy pug stuff. 1906, undivided back. Pug in a box. Pug. Sold for $19.96 plus first class shipping. And oh my goodness, would you believe it? We're done. That was a long one. So thank you. I know thanks for sticking with me. I know this is a very long video. Great week of postcard sales, and I thank you all so very much for watching. If it's your first time here and you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. I do one of these a week. I do live shows almost every day. We talk about some of the other items that sell. It's a lot of fun. That's it. See you next week, everybody. Happy 4th of July.